There we go.
How you doing? Welcome to DuPage Run and Shoot Show, episode 2, week 2, 2023 IHSA football season. Ready to kick things off. And again, make sure you follow DuPage Run and Shoot Show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. I'm co-host of the DuPage Run and Shoot Show, also publisher of Deep Dish Football and deepdishfootball.com. Again, now it's time to swing on things over to my co-host, Patrick Codo. Mr. Codo, please introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? That is right. This is Patrick Codo, the co-host of DuPage Run and Shoots. And, of course, if you all have seen me around, I'm also a sports reporter over at NCTV 17. So you will definitely see me at all the football games and stuff. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. A new episode. I'm also the host of the Codo's Mojo. A new episode has dropped out this week, so check it out. And, if you want to, send me an email, even just to say hi or, make some battery emojis. Pete Codo at nctv17.org.
There we go. All right, let's get kicked off with week 1 scores, and here we go. Niles, Notre Dame, 15. Willowbrook, 12.
Oof. That is a gut punch of a loss for Willowbrook. They had a 12-0 lead in the game, and then Notre Dame scored the next 15.
Yeah.
You can't do that in week 1.
Yeah, and again, it's a thing of just putting things together, and I think they'll bounce back next. I think they will bounce back next week, but I think again, this was just some of the first week issues that a lot happened with a lot of teams. And
I was just gonna say there were a lot of first week issues last week.
Yes, there was. All right, next one. IC 47, Bowman 0. Surprise.
Yeah. Good for IC. I mean, at least they started off the year with an ass whooping. Didn't let the hangover get to them. Still got some key players back. Obviously, Parker's back, Mandela's back.
Not much of a surprise.
Yeah, I was gonna say not much to talk about, but good win for IC.
DGN 27, Wayne St. Francis 22. DGN gets the big win to kick off the season. What are your thoughts, Mr. Codo?
All right, Pete. So obviously we were just talking about, some first week jitters and stuff. There were some first week eye openers too. This one was definitely an eye opener. And I'm not surprised about the result. A somewhat of a new St. Francis team. Sure, you got the QB back, but he's missing a lot of players. Huge opportunity taken well advantage of for Downers Grove North. Noah Battle with 2 touchdowns, including the game winner, an intense shootout between the two teams. Owen Lansu made his first varsity start for the Trojans. He's got Noah Battle to back him up. So, I thought this was a well played game for the Trojans.
Yeah.
Obviously, St. Francis held with them, but a lot to learn from this game.
And I give a lot of due to DGN's offensive line. Very impressive last week. And it's a continuing thing to build. And this DGN offensive line could be a big strength for the Trojans. Next one.
I was going to say, don't get too comfortable, West Suburban Conference.
Yep. Bennett 40, Oak Forest 6. Surprised?
Yes and no. Obviously, for Bennett, their offense has just struggled their past 2 opening games and stuff. Well, shit, you could say I guess you could count the even in the fucking the 2021 COVID season.
Yeah.
Their offense struggled to open up against St. Ignatius. They got destroyed against Naperville North. They couldn't do jack against Noblesville. So I'm not surprised about them winning. I am surprised that their offense, completely exploded, because their offense at points last year had trouble finding the end zone.
Yes, and
that was not the case last Friday. Ryan Kubaki, made some excellent plays with his arm and his leg. He has, Pat Patello and Rocky Rasanova. Those guys stepped up big. So we are surprised and not surprised about, what happened. We are not surprised that Bennett won. We are surprised at how the offense looked. But, after, years of the offense struggling, another eye opener right there of the offense blowing up. Can they keep it up though? That's the question.
Yeah. And one of the teams that needed a first week win in DuPage County was Bennett Academy.
And the worst way possible, because the last 2 years, 4-5, lost week 1 both years.
Yes.
This was big in so many ways.
All
Huge
right.
win.
I agree. Next one, Addison Trail 39, Main E6. Addison Trail gets the first win, first week. Awesome. Congratulations to the Blazers.
Let's go.
And I'm very happy to hear that.
Can they build on it though?
Yeah, that's the important thing.
They picked up some wins. Now can they build on it?
Yes. And they got some pretty good cupcakes on the schedule where they can get to a good win record. York 34, Glenbrook Self 17. York's quarterback, unbelievable game. Very impressed with York's defense too. Glenbrook Self, again, they came into that as underdogs.
They did.
And York won that game.
I mean, this game was a lot closer than what the score shows, Pete. I mean, Glenbrook South held them in the game. One point, they were trailing 21-17, and then York just took off. And you talk about the new QB, Sean Winton, 277 yards and 3 touchdowns. I say that's a good start for your very first varsity start.
Yep.
Chris Denko caught 2 of them. Hopefully I said that right. Luke Mailander added another, but he had 221 yards receiving.
Yeah.
I think we'll be hearing Luke Mailander and Sean Winton a lot this season.
And Luke Mailander has been absolutely impressive from his growth for his first 3 seasons, going now into his senior season. He is an absolute threat in the West Suburban Conference, no doubt about that.
Nate Katie scored both the touchdowns for the Titans. Again, they looked good, but you got to put a full game together. But I would not sleep on this Glenbrook South team.
Yep. Crane 47, Westmont 6. Crane absolutely demolishes Westmont. Not that much of a surprise.
Well, I guess this is another eye opener because now nobody knows who the fuck Crane is, and then boom, they just blow it up, and I'm like,
yep, yeah.
What the hell's this?
Moline 17, Glenbar North 12.
A very tough break for the Panthers. I'm sure
Yes.
Moline's good, but
I don't ever doubt the Panthers after a loss because usually after they lose, they usually come back with a win. So Glenbar North.
Yeah, I hope that's the case.
Yep. Lake Park 28, Conant 7. Lake Park gets their first season opener win. Awesome. Just absolutely.
This put a giant smile on my face. I am so happy for Lake Park. This team has been going through hell these past few years. This is huge in so many ways. Matt Rodriguez got the score going with a punt return, a couple of touchdowns from Declan. Fortuna. This is a statement win for Lake Park.
Yep. And I'm very impressed. Again, Coach Kirkpatrick has done wonders with that program. Geneva 35, Matea Valley 0. We talked about they upset them. It didn't happen.
Back to the drawing board for Matea. Again, Geneva's good, but I expected a lot better.
Yeah. Big one. Wabanzi Valley 28, Oswego East 7. Wabanzi Valley gets the big W. They're starting off strong. What do you think?
How about them Warriors? And how about Tyler Threet?
Yep.
Scored all the touchdowns for Wabanzi Valley. Now, some teams are like, oh, we got this. You also have Trent Selby and Julian Johnson. Those guys could also make some big plays in the game as well. I really like this Warriors team.
Yes.
Good offensive lineman with Charlie Drohan,
Stefan
Popov. I know I'm leaving out some key names, but this is a really good start for Wabanzi. You want to talk about, getting off to a good start. Wabanzi, this was a huge game for them as well.
Yeah. And this was
Plainfield East tomorrow.
Must-need win. Now, you called it. Oswego 13, Neuqua Valley 0.
This was another eye-opening game. The fact that Neuqua got shut out. Now, the defense, they gave up 13 points, not bad. Here's the problem. Your offense couldn't score.
Yeah.
The defense can only do so much. This is a head scratcher for Neuqua.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Oswego's defense too. That
huge game for Oswego. Noah Vera scored the only TD on the game, but again, we had to figure Oswego is coming in for a bounce back season, and why not do it against a good Neuqua Valley team that's whooped your ass in the past few seasons?
Yes. And a big win for Oswego, and Yeah, it's a good win. A much needed win for Oswego and Equal Valley again. Back to the drawing board. They'll be back this weekend.
They will. They will. Don't get too comfortable, Manuka.
Naperville North 35, Homewood Flossmoor 21. Talk about a breakout party for Jacob Bell. What do you think, sir?
Well, first of all, the North really had full control in this game because Homewood
Yeah.
Flossmoor scored a couple touchdowns in garbage time. But yeah, no, obviously, taking a look at Jacob Bell, he had his struggling moments in the game, but of course, this is his very first varsity start. So he played it safe and ran with it a lot. Only thing is that you can't run with it a lot. You got to, now that he has a game under his belt, maybe he'll be more comfortable passing the ball. Because take a look at North's schedule. Holy shit. He's going to need to unload his arm. You got another pet away, Luke Williams.
Yes.
Lawson Greer, this North team, Zach Malley too, was in the defensive backfield. The Huskies have definitely got off to a good start. This was another much needed win for them too, because like I said, daunting schedule. So this is huge. This is huge for North. Good first win for the Huskies. Jacob Bell looked really good with his legs. They need to throw him more though. Yep. If you keep using your legs, you're kind of risking it.
And we talk about another big win that Lyle needed, new head coach, 28.
Let's go!
Congratulations to the Lyle Lions on a big win over Harvard.
Coach Dillard 1-0. Let's go. Let's go.
Bartlett beat Streamwood 19-8. Congratulations to Bartlett. I don't think that was much of a surprise.
Maybe the offense could have
yeah.
The defense really showed up in that game. Offensively, I'm a little surprised. Usually Bartlett's got a strong offense, but sometimes you got to win those games ugly, and Bartlett definitely won a game ugly.
And I'm going to eat crow on this, and I agree. I thought East Aurora could give Glenbard Self a challenge. It didn't. Glenbard Self 56, East Aurora 21. Big game for Glenbard Self's offense. What do you think, sir?
Touchdowns for Michael Champagne, 3 of them to Cam Williams. I think this is going to be a combination of names that we're going to be hearing all season long. But, a team like Glenbard South had a strong season last year, got screwed in the playoff rankings. This is a very good win right here.
Glenbard East 42, Larkin 0.
Good win for Glenbard East.
Yeah. South Elgin 28, West Chicago 7. West Chicago put up a fight. Vincent Mucci had a great game, but South Elgin's defense is just too much. Again, South Elgin, and they got and they have a hell of a quarterback too. Very impressed also with their tight end as well.
Jack Chinen, 4 touchdowns.
Yes. This South Elgin team is the real deal. Don't sleep on them.
But you want to talk about West Chicago, Pete. Usually they're getting 50-piece by these good teams. The fact that they kind of, held them down to 21.
And it's
I would honestly call that a win for West Chicago. I'd call that a win.
Yes.
Progress. The progress is being made.
Building foundation, and Coach Shah
I love it.
Did a wonderful job. Wheaton North 23, DGS 7. Wheaton North gets the big win over DGS. They start the season off great. What do you got to say, sir?
Oh, man, Downers Grove South really struggled. Obviously, I was not picking Downers Grove South again because I was wrong the last 2 times. I played safe and go with Wheaton North. Good start for the Falcons.
Yep. Naperville Central 14. Hinsdale Central 10. Wow.
You want to talk about defense. Holy fuck. Naperville Central and Hinsdale Central went at it on defense. For Central, Jack Cook making his first varsity start. Again, another player making his first varsity start. Looks good with his arms and his legs. Had over 200 total yards. Scored the Hawks' first touchdown of the game. Red Hawks had 2 interceptions from Logan Ellison and Gavin Wade. The Gavin Wade one set up the first touchdown. Naperville Central really unleashed the running game with Nick Zabilet, Aiden Clark, Jude Sutherland. Not a bad day for Riley Contreras. Needs to clean up his turnovers, though. At Central, too, they could have ran away with this game. They left some points off the board. They got stuck on the goal line on a 4th down. And then Logan Ellison missed a field goal, so more points off the board. For Central, Hinsdale Central, too, finish your drives. Both defenses don't play their asses off.
Yeah, and that's good, and that's definitely good to hear, especially when you have a great appearance on a defense for a defense in the first week. That shows good. That shows good things happening and coming up for the weeks. Defense that doesn't.
Now let's hope both offenses can pick it up.
Yep. And the next, next one, Glenbard West 7, Merritt 6. Glenbard West wins on a kick return. I think it was a kick return touchdown.
Yes, it was a kick return by guess who? Another Ellens, because Julius went out of the game.
Yes.
And of course, here comes his brother Mason saying, "Hey guys, there's another Ellens, and I'm gonna return this kick right up your ass," and they did.
And Mason Ellens is he's making a name for himself. And we said that both teams were in the same boat. This was a good game, but Glenbard.
You want to talk about defenses? Oh my God,
yes.
Both those defenses took some serious notes from last season's barn burner.
Yes.
Last season was a barn burner.
It was. Wheaton Warrenville South 12, Simeon 6. Wheaton Warrenville South gets the big one win. Congratulations to Coach Norris. Congratulations to the Tigers. What a great stepping stone against a Simeon team that's still trying to find their curve. They have the defense, but the offense was a little bit smothered a bit. What do you think, sir?
Mason Haas with 2 picks, and he even kicked the field goal for the Tigers. Luca Carbonero threw a touchdown to give Wheaton South a 10-6 lead. I think, sometimes – talk about defense. This week was a lot about some defenses. Wheaton South, this is another eye-opening game too, because last year they struggled. But you look back at that, you're like, oh.
Yep. Wakanda 14, Hinsdale South 10. What the?
What the fucking deed? What the fucking deed?
Yeah.
Again, we talked about Hinsdale South letting some games get away. You can't let these games get away.
Yep.
You can't let them get away.
Yes.
Like, this Hinsdale South is good.
Yes.
Like, sure, they were, 4-5 last season?
Yeah.
Sure, they were 4-5 last season, but they lost some close ones.
Yeah, and I thought Hinsdale South was going to get this game.
I really thought Hinsdale South, too. This was, always a heartbreaker when you lose a week 1 game like that.
And a big game. Montini gets the big stepping stone, 56 over Westinghouse 12. What are you going to say about that? I'm very impressed with Montini.
I'm very impressed as well. Well, first of all, Montini just win in so many ways. They blew up the scoreboard, so,
yeah,
good thing getting the win, and the offense, clicked.
Yes.
The offense in past seasons have been.
Yes. And that offensive line, again, they are going to do some damage this season for Montini Broncos. So definitely. Elgin 24, Fenton 21. Any surprise there? I'm not really surprised.
I'm not really surprised indeed, but good fight for Fenton to hang on.
Yes. And again, Elgin, Matt Lawson, he transferred to Hoffman Estates. They really miss Matt Lawson. But Elgin gets the win over a tough Fenton team. Again, this weekend, they get a Fenton Bison. Games of the week, and I gave you the wrong score. It was Carmel 24, Crete-Monee 0.
I knew it was 24-0. I was like, oh, Pete's 24-0. But
yeah.
No, I mean, this shouldn't surprise anyone indeed.
Yeah.
This is loaded Carmel offense. They looked really good.
Yeah.
This is just the start of a special season for the Corsairs, right?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. The Corsairs.
An impressive game. Yeah. A Corey French, unbelievable game. Johnny Weber, offensive line, their secondary, the Carmel secondary is a beast. I'm telling you that right now. So again, 24-0. Next, and this was the big game, Mount Carmel 36, East St. Louis 33, Jack Elliott, unbelievable game. What do you got to say, sir?
Well, obviously, this score should not surprise anybody. This is exactly the score we expected.
Yes.
But there were parts of the game where Mount Carmel had some big leads. Like they thought they were going to run away with that.
Yes.
No, East St. Louis made it a game. The atmosphere at Normal was unbelievable. That looked really good.
I was more impressed with East St. Louis than I was Mount Carmel, to be honest with you.
I have to agree with you as well, because usually when Mount Carmel gets off to a big lead, they keep it that way. No, East St. Louis kept hanging on. No, I am very impressed with this East St. Louis team. Obviously Mount Carmel is Mount Carmel, but this is, the fact that East St. Louis, held with them is more impressive too.
Yep.
East St. Louis could have pulled the upset, but nope.
And the big what the F score: Rochester 40, Peoria 14.
Well, yeah, obviously this score has a lot of what the fucks in so many ways. Obviously, not for Rochester because they're known to blow up the scoreboard. Peoria, we expected a better fight because they also let up the scoreboard.
Yep. And Rochester, again, their defense was unbelievable under the tutelage of Coach Bucher. And Rochester, unbelievable. They had two quarterbacks with multiple scores. This Rochester team is looking really good this season.
Hey, as long as Derek Leonard's still at the helm, any Rochester team will be good.
And I really think this Peoria team, just again, first game miscues. I think again they're going to be back, and I think they're going to be a lot better.
I think they'll be fine. I wouldn't worry. Week one is
week one's a weird week. It's one of the weirdest
weird week indeed. I think Peoria will be fine. They'll be fine.
All right, week 2 games of the week in DuPage County. South Elgin takes on Glenbard East. Can this again? Two teams graduated a lot of talent. Can South Elgin get the W against a Glenbard East team that again we talk about teams in the boat? They're in the same boat. What do you think, sir?
Well, obviously, this is a game that will likely determine who's in the driver's seat of the Upstate 8.
Yes.
But you know what? I feel like, for a team like Glenbard East, this is a team that, we've been riding a lot lately.
Yeah.
If they want to really gain some momentum, this is a big game in so many ways. If you beat South Elgin, which I am picking Glenbard East to beat South Elgin, if you beat South Elgin, it will be a special season for the Rams. You need these kind of wins.
And again, the keys would be, I would say, the Glenbard East defensive line. They have to get penetration, and they got to create mounds. And again, Coach Walker does a wonderful job with that Glenbard East defensive line. This is going to be a very important game in DuPage County. Next one, Nazareth takes on York. Nazareth lost to Kankakee. Can York beat Nazareth, a pissed off Nazareth team that's 0-1?
Holy shit, Pete. If York can win, that's two big wins against Glenbard South and Nazareth.
Yes.
Nazareth, yes, they're playing pissed off. Because they were getting spanked last week against Kankakee and came back and tied up. Then Kankakee, got that late touchdown to win by 7.
So
York's offense looked, both teams obviously need to get off to a good start.
And I would definitely look at York's ground attack too, because I think Naz is going to zero in on the pass. So I think this is going to be a very important game for York. This is a huge game for them. Next one, Manuka takes on Neuqua Valley. Manuka's offensive line is kicking ass. Neuqua Valley, they're 0-1. This is a tough one, Mr. Codo. This is a tough one.
Neuqua Valley is in do or die scenario. They are in do or die scenario already, week 1, because look who Neuqua Valley has to play next week.
Yes.
So Neuqua, it's.
I agree.
Bill Ellinghaus has only started off 0-2, maybe one other time. And I remember that because my senior year, they lost to both North and Central to start the season.
Yeah, this is a big.
So this is a big game for Neuqua in so many ways. Usually Neuqua bounces back pretty well after a loss. So I'm going to, right on Neuqua. They get that big win, much needed win. This is huge. Huge in so many ways for Neuqua.
And keep an eye out for the quarterback.
Because then you're on the road for your next 2 games.
Keep an eye out for Manuka's quarterback, Durf. Glenbard West goes down to St. Louis, taking on the cement of St. Louis, Missouri. What do you think, sir?
Battle of offense and defense.
Yes.
How do you pronounce that school name?
I don't. You literally are asking me that question. Are you honestly asking me that question?
I just did, Cookie Monster.
I'm the Cookie Monster. Come on.
Battle of offense and defense. Glenbard West's defense versus their opponent's offense. But a good opportunity for Glenbard West's defense to maybe unleash. It could be a similar scenario to last week.
Yeah. And I think this Glenbard West, especially what I'm looking at especially too, is Coffee, their defensive tackle, who's a nose guard, who's an absolute beast player you got to keep an eye out for. Next one, Plainfield North versus Naperville Central. Can Plainfield North get the big win over a tough Naperville Central team? And Plainfield North, again, the big thing that I really like what I saw from was their offensive line. Very impressive. Can they get the win over your alma mater, Naperville Central? What do you think, sir?
Well, they're going up against a good Naperville Central defense, that for sure. You know, Naperville Central, this is a redemption game. They're coming in pissed off after that tough loss last year to Plainfield North. The offense, too, like we talked about, the offense had some struggles finishing drives. They left 10 points off the board last week against Hinsdale Central. I think Naperville Central can start 2-0.
Yeah.
And if they get this win against Plainfield North, oh, baby, look out for the Red Hawks.
I've been very impressed with quarterback Cook, his ability, especially for the first week. I was very impressed. I was taken back.
This is the first time this kid ever played varsity football. First time this kid ever played varsity football. The kid worked his ass off in the offseason. The kid looks jacked up. I like this kid. He keeps it up. He keeps it up, and, he keeps improving.
Yeah.
He could be, another good quarterback in the DuPage County.
Yep. Next one, Bartlett versus West Chicago. West Chicago 0-1, Bartlett 1-0. Can West Chicago get to 1-1 against a tough Bartlett team? What do you think, sir?
This is going to be tough for West Chicago. They're going to have to play a perfect game.
Yeah.
Even if they, they lose, maybe they could still show some progress.
And I really do believe
it's all about, progress. They are working progress right now. It's all about working progress there in West Chicago.
And I do believe that this West Chicago team, they can get the win. That's a great.
If they get this win, I'll be happy. I'll have a giant smile on my face.
That's a great win for them. And Bartlett, again, unbelievable first win. I really like their defensive line of Bartlett. I like one of their defensive ends. He's a hell of a player. So this is definitely a game to check out. Glenbard North versus Willowbrook. The battle of 0-1s.
The battle of teams in need of desperate wins.
Yes, you are
right. They
are
desperate because they both had some gut-punching losses last week.
Yes. Again, I think with Glenbard North, the big thing is going to be their offense. That's going to be huge.
Both teams really need to unload the offense.
Yes,
they didn't do enough last week against their respective opponents.
And now
of course, Niles, Notre Dame, and Moline are good, but
yeah,
these offenses are much better than scoring 12 points in their first game. Seriously.
Yep. And now we get into the teams of the same boat. Wheaton North taking on Lockport. They almost marry each other. What do you think, sir?
I mean, both teams are coming up. Well, Lockport, they only put up 14 last week.
Yeah.
Wheaton North, well, again, this was some first game jitters last week. Where's the game at?
I do not know.
Well, anyway, it's a big game in so many ways for both these teams. I mean, you want to talk about good matchups? Holy shit. They're like, week 2 is full of good matchups.
Their two defensive ends, the Porter's two defensive ends are very impressive. I think one had 2.5 sacks, 3 sacks, if I'm not mistaken. So, and this Wheaton North's offensive line, it's strong. It's very strong. So this is going to be a game to watch. Bonzi Valley takes on Plainfield East. Plainfield East, Brandon Paredes, he's lighting up the sky, sir. What do you think?
So is Tyler Threet.
Yes, he is.
Luke Elfie. And so is Julian Johnson.
Yes.
Ben Selby. The Warriors going 2-0.
Oh.
Well, I got Waubonsie Valley going 2-0. Like I said, this is a well-experienced Warriors team back. Keep it up, Waubonsie Valley.
Yes, please.
Your swimming team, your girls' swimming team, for fuck's sakes, just picked up a win against Naperville Central. Keep the Red Hot start going, Waubonsie Athletics.
There we go. Next one.
And I think their golf team just won the Matia Valley invite.
Nice.
Going, Waubonsie.
There we go. Next one. Big small school game at Bennett Field. Lyle takes on Benedictine Field. I apologize. Lyle takes on Seneca. Seneca got the big upset against Wilmington. Oh, Lyle, big win over Harvard. What do you think, sir?
Well, big game for obviously Mr. Dillard. 2-0. Let's go, Corey Dillard. 2-0.
All right, you heard from the board, and this Seneca team, I'm telling you right now, I've never seen a team, especially I'm talking about the old Interstate 8. They're not an Interstate 8 anymore. I've never seen a team have such a good season, and in the next season, I think Reed Custer did, but beat Wilmington in their first game. That was a big proving point for the Fighting Irish. Do not sleep on this Seneca team in the small school divisions. Wheaton Academy takes on St. Charles East. Now, the reason why I do say this is because I forgot to put the score, but Wheaton Academy won big. Brett Casper, unbelievable last week.
Yeah, Saints are in trouble.
St. Charles East, big school going against the small private school. What do you think, sir?
Like I said, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
This game's
They
a
look
tough.
really bad last week.